It's 2018. There are a lot of you who want to start your own business, and I think that's why you clicked on this video. My name is Roberto Blake. I'm a creative entrepreneur. That means I'm an entrepreneur who deals in creative services, things like intellectual property, video, content marketing, that sort of thing. I'm also a public speaker. I built a successful six-figure coaching business in addition to my personal brand in YouTube. One of the questions that I get the most, especially in my live streams and also from a lot of my coaching clients, is what do you need to do in order to start your own business? Now, there are a couple of things to unpack here. First of all, I live in the United States, which means that if you're somebody who is in Canada, the UK, or abroad watching this video, there are certain things that you need to look up and do your own research for. And I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of advice regarding some of those things. And also, because of government regulations, there are some questions regarding taxes and things of that nature that I straight up am not allowed to answer for you, but I'm going to tell you how to get the answers for those things on your own. So if any of that interests you at all, you're on the right video. If not, there are over 1,000 other videos on this channel and maybe one or two of them can help you. So I would invite you to subscribe, hit notifications, and also just check out what's in the library here. The internet and the digital age has made entrepreneurship more accessible to people than it's ever been. That doesn't mean it's any easier or any less complicated. It just means that more people can get started with a lot less money and with a lot less time to put in. That being said, you should always take the time to do your research. For all of the legal things that you need to know, you have to look up what the rules and codes and regulations are for your local area. Even down to the county you're in might require you to have a business license. You also should consider whether you need to do a certain legal entity. Now, there's a book that I'm going to recommend that can help you decide what legal entity that you should start and which one's going to be advantageous for you. It'll also give you some advice on your taxes. That's a book called Start Your Own Business, 7th edition. I'm going to link to it down below. I'm also going to link to a list of 100 books I used to build my business. I have a very extensive book collection and it's been helpful over the years. For direct questions about your taxes, you should look at talking to a certified public accountant. You should consider talking to a tax agency like, H&R Block or somebody, whoever's local to you, or even your attorney or legal counsel. These are people who are allowed to get detailed with those kind of questions and they can answer what you need. And often they will not charge you to answer those basic questions. Oftentimes, a lot of the FAQs on their website will also answer those questions. If you're in the United States, you can go to irs.gov and most of the questions are answered there. It won't be in a convenient, easy to use format. It will be a lot of reading, but it will answer the far majority of your questions. I'm also going to link to any content I've found from legal experts that are here on YouTube, and you can just choose to take whatever they say with a grain of salt. But it at least will be informative for you. So I'm going to link to those in the description down below, along with other resources that you should be looking at and that can help you with those kinds of specific questions. If you're going to get legal or tax advice, the reality is you should be getting it from an expert. You should be getting it from somebody who specifically focuses in only doing that type of thing. It's going to be the best answer. There are also great books that I'm going to recommend that can help you begin to wrap your head around it. There's a lot of jargon to unpack, so maybe that's useful to you. Also, like I said, your geography matters. Your state, your country, your city will have different codes and regulations and things that go along with it. So, I could only ever give you, the information on my situation, which may not apply to you for anything legal or tax-wise. So it's not really that helpful at the end of the day, just being upfront about that. With regard to building your online digital business, you need a website and a domain name. I'm going to recommend Bluehost. It's who I use for a lot of my different websites, and they gave a massive discount to this community. They're not sponsoring. It's just a discount that I found to hook you guys up with, and I get an affiliate commission. So we're good there. Links in the description. You also, if you're not someone who wants to use WordPress, which I definitely would recommend, you can also just use Wix.com. I'm going to link to that as well. That's just a drag and drop visual thing that you can use to build your website. The importance of having a domain name, owning your own .com, is that when people search for you in your business, they're going to be able to find it. You have a place where you control the information. Yes, social media is free and you should take advantage of it, but marketing yourself, you want to be able to control your messaging. You want to own your own platform because the platforms change the rules. They can decide that you're not a good fit for it, or they could decide that your business is somehow something disadvantageous to the platform. We see this happen all the time. So you want to own your own website, your own platform, your own domain name. The other great thing about having your own domain name is it means you have a professional email address. When starting a business and wanting to manage things, having people get in touch with you with a professional email address is always helpful. You also want separate email addresses for different things. You might want one that, is your name. You might want one that's info at, content at, payments at. You want to separate a lot of these things so that you have diversified systems. The other thing is you want to go ahead and have accounts where things can be paid from and where you can also receive money. Part of this is obviously setting up a PayPal account. I also recommend setting up a Stripe account. Just having some of these different online payment gateways is actually very helpful for your online business because there are platforms and services where you can receive money where one is viable and the other is not. Also, some of you are abroad internationally. Some of you can't use PayPal for whatever reason. Stripe and Venmo and Square are great alternatives to PayPal for the rest of you. Also, just a general rule, the smart thing is to separate personal and professional finances. Again, I can't go super deep into this, but literally, if you can have a bank account for every little different thing, I would set up a bank account for every different little thing. And you'll, again, probably want to tie one of those specifically and exclusively to the business. In terms of making sure you're getting paid, just depending on the type of business you have, you might need invoicing software. You also might want to have software for keeping track of everything. There are a lot of people who use QuickBooks from Intuit. You could also use FreshBooks if you're doing freelance services and you also want to do contracts, which I highly recommend you use contracts. There's something that makes that simple called Hello Bonsai. I'm going to link to that down below as well. Most of these resource links in the description are affiliate links. Some of them are not. The majority of them probably are, so just disclosing that, because that's the other fun thing about being a business owner. You have to have disclaimers and disclosure for everything, so you also want to make sure you get the proper legal forms and templates. So, you want to hunt those down. LegalZoom is a great resource for getting all of that taken care of. I don't have an affiliate link for them, but just use the link down there and get what you need from them. And it's usually helpful for the majority of people. I also recommend that you look at getting business insurance. I'll link to somebody else's video on business insurance because it's something that you can't really gloss over and requires a dedicated video, but in the same way that you have insurance on your car just in case the worst should happen, or hopefully you have health insurance, you want insurance for the health and financial security of your business as well. You also want to insure any of your equipment. So like I said, I'm going to find somebody else's video. I'm going to link to that and you can go into the details there. So just get business insurance if you can do it. If you're just starting out, you don't have the budget for all these things, don't worry about it. You can do these things incrementally, just take things slow and steady and work within your budget. But all of this is really important. And you guys said you wanted kind of an FAQ style video on all the things you need to know to start a business. And this is, just kind of my best case scenario of that. Now, obviously, in terms of just practicality, you should probably write up a business plan. I don't think they're nearly as formal or necessary as you would think a couple of years ago. But this business plan is a set of guidelines for you to understand the nature of your business, and it probably will help you explain what you do and how you make your money to other people. The majority of you watching this, you're not going to go to the bank for a loan. You're not going to get investors. You're going to start a business out of your home office or out of your garage or out of your bedroom. And that's perfectly fine in 2018. And people have been doing this successfully for years. If you've ever read the book Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk or Crushing It, the follow-up to that, you'll see that there are so many great digital entrepreneurs that only started a few years ago and are very successful. And they started with little of nothing. That's why entrepreneurship is so accessible today, is that you don't need to take out that bank loan. You don't need to go out and get other people's money to do this stuff anymore. You can start small, and it's okay to do that. Knowing how you're going to market yourself and your business, that's something that is ridiculously practical and that you're going to have to give a lot of thought. You have to look at social media platforms. As a business owner, I don't think in 2018 it's wise for you to think that you can operate outside the internet. In addition to having your own website, you need to go where people are and you need to drive traffic. And the good thing about social media is it's free. It's free, it's accessible, it has the eyeballs, it has people's attention, and they're doing it from their phones. So when you set up your website, ideally, make sure that looks good on a smartphone because that's probably the first experience most people will have of it. The other thing you want to do is be accessible in social media and have content in social media that's favorable to your business, shows what you can do, and provides some type of value to your ideal end consumer. Something that's helpful to them that also gets you their attention and their traffic and a little bit of their time every day. Obviously, there are several videos on this channel. There's over 1,000 videos on this channel. 200 of them dedicated specifically to you using YouTube as a free platform for video marketing. We've also covered stuff on Instagram, and I'm going to be talking a lot more about how you can use Twitter and LinkedIn for your business as well. But I've covered social media and marketing and email marketing in particular quite extensively here on this YouTube channel. I hope that you'll subscribe, hit notifications, and watch some of those other videos in the backlog, because if you're just getting started, there's a wealth of information here and it's all free. You're not even gonna have to buy a course. By the way, there's nothing wrong with buying courses or selling them for that fact of the matter. It's a really good business model. Try to think about your budget and how much you can spend to maintain your business every month. A lot of people go out of their way. They try to start way too big. They start a business. They go and they buy $500 office space, or they sign up for a $100 a month co-working space or whatever. They spend a lot more money than they have, but yet they don't have cash flow coming in and they haven't established their client base yet or made a minimal viable product to sell. So, I mean, just really try to keep your budget as low as possible, your operating expenses as low as possible when you're just getting started. And when you start making money, really try to set some of that aside or invest some of it back into the business. Do not try to pocket that money, and also don't increase your operating budget just because you're making some money now right away. Keep your margins good. Keep your money and make sure that you have a buffer. It is so important for the health and growth of your business, especially when you're just getting started. That temptation is always there. In terms of marketing your business, you might be looking for people who can design your website, do your visual branding, your logos, your graphics, social media, all of those things. I am not going to personally recommend Fiverr.com, even though it's super cheap and it's something the far majority of people do when they're starting out. I just can't put a guarantee on the work, and I can't guarantee that there won't be copyright issues with anyone you hire from Fiverr. It's a dice roll. I've done a video on whether it's worth it for freelancers, but I also talk about whether it's worth it in that video for the entrepreneur. You might want to watch it. I'll link it up here for you guys and in the description. But the bottom line for me with that is, for that type of work, I feel it's too risky. Now, if you want to hire an on-screen talent with Fiverr, or a voice actor or voice actress or something of that nature, that type of work I feel is easier to guarantee in terms of the talent. But if it's anything visual design-wise, or if it's something that has to be written up, I can't guarantee that it won't be stolen or plagiarized, so I don't really want to recommend that service. Upwork.com, I think, does a better job of vetting people because it's harder to get into that platform, and they are not marketing for the low budget client. It's going to probably cost a little bit more to get talent over there, but I think the quality is going to be slightly better, and that's been my personal experience. They're not sponsoring this video. I don't have an affiliate link for them. It's just what my experience has been and what I've seen and what my friends, both who are creatives and business people, have told me about. Freelancers have told me they've had bad experiences. Entrepreneurs have told me they've had bad experiences, but they've also been some who've told me they have good experiences. I'm just trying to help you minimize risk, which is what something every business owner has to think about. How do you minimize risk? That being said, something else you could do is you could reach out to a friend who started a business and find out who they hired to do their visual branding and their graphics to help them market themselves. The other thing is, with marketing yourself, do not hire somebody from one of these freelance websites to do your online marketing. For that, I worry about the traffic not being organic, because you say you want X amount of thousands of followers or X amount of site visits. Sometimes those services are not legitimate. I would say work with consultants and established firms and not tie the results to how much traffic or how many views or how many followers or subscribers, because again, that creates an incentive to fake those numbers, and that could risk the account, that could risk the YouTube channel, whatever it is you're doing. I don't recommend that at all. Again, granted, working with those more established people, probably going to be more expensive, probably not an early thing you need to blow the budget on. Focus instead on just trying to build your network, and also, I would say, try to legitimately grow your email list. When it comes to email marketing software, MailChimp is free, and I have a link down there. I don't get an affiliate commission, I don't think, but I get some kind of credit for it. I think it just depends on whether you're using the free version or if you're paying for it. If you're paying for it, I think I do get a commission from that same link. Now, if you want an email system that is set up specifically to help people who are selling products or services, I recommend ConvertKit. Again, I've used both of these. I actually have active paid accounts with both of these. And again, affiliate links are down in the description if you want to use what I'm using, but ConvertKit has been very good. It has a streamlined process. MailChimp is good too. It does have some limitations that I don't like in some of its automation, but I think it's good as far as a place to start, and it is free. When it comes to hiring people, volunteers are nice, but you do get what you pay for often. And I also think that hiring is something that you should take as slowly as you can. I do a lot on my own, and I freelance out certain projects to people on a one-off basis. The best investment for me is a virtual assistant and a personal assistant. I think that those are things you should take a look at, because by hiring those folks to manage things like your email, your inbox, day-to-day tasks, scheduling, and also hold you accountable, it's usually going to eliminate the bottleneck of the majority of your time. And it's also going to help you prioritize your communication, who to get back to, what emails need a response and need them now rather than later. So I feel like that is a good place to offset some of your anxiety and a lot of your time. I think email becomes like one of your biggest time sucks. So that's something that I would say is a good investment when it comes to hiring folks. Just be patient with this process. And if something isn't working out or you're uncomfortable, it's time to move on. Don't keep putting good money after bad. I think that's how the saying goes, like something like that. Just don't flush your money down the toilet. It's not worth it. Final thoughts. Entrepreneurship, more accessible than it's ever been, available to more people than ever. And I would really love to see you try to start something of your own and build financial freedom. Don't get discouraged. This is a slow process. It doesn't happen overnight for people. It's not like anyone here is promising you're going to be a millionaire or even build a six-figure business, but it could help you in terms of having a side hustle or just feeling a sense of pride and ownership over something you built with your own hands. That being said, entrepreneurship isn't for everyone. Just because anyone could theoretically use the resources and tools in the digital era to build a business and become an entrepreneur doesn't mean that everyone has the skills or the patience or the temperament to actually do it and to deliver value. So I think that's something important to just kind of say and put out there. This may not be for everybody, but I think it's for more people than it was 10 or 20 years ago by far. And hopefully this video makes it feel a little bit less intimidating and helps you feel like you're informed. Like I said earlier, the thing that I would ask from you is that you consider subscribing to this channel for more topics on freelancing, entrepreneurship, or marketing yourself in social media, or building passive income. Those are a lot of the topics I cover here on the channel. So if you want that, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'm happy. Also, in terms of resources, I've linked everything I talked about down in the description below, whether that's other people's videos or content, articles that I could find that were helpful, or affiliate links to the products and services that I use to run and operate my business, whether that's my online coaching, the things that I do for my speaking engagements, or what I do for my social media marketing here in YouTube and other platforms. So if that's something that you guys want to take advantage of, those links are down below and you can use any of them. They do help me out one way or another. Question of the day, what type of business are you interested in starting? Let me know in the comment section. Like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome stuff here on the channel. Share it with a friend. As always, you guys, thanks so very much for watching, and don't forget, go out there and create something awesome today. Maybe it's a business that you're very proud of. Take care.